Alright, what's up guys? Today I wanted to come on here and review the session from last week, also backtest. Now, last week was not the best trading week for me. I did take multiple L's and ended up being a losing week for me. Could have easily been a W if I used better risk management, but I'm being transparent with you guys. The point of this channel is just to show you guys my journey. I'm not at the point that I want to be in my trading. I'm still on my journey to profitability. So I do want to just break down what it is that I was looking at and just take you guys on that journey. So if we come down, I already marked up previous day high, previous day lows. So as you can see, previous day high here, it was that Wednesday, that trade I took. I actually posted a short about it, and I will post the live session as well, which you guys will probably see sometime this week, maybe before this video or after this video. But let's get right into it. So previous day high, previous day low on on Wednesday, and we're trading Thursday morning. So as you can see, it was bearish. We had a bearish New York session the previous day, and then we can see we came into Asia session and went bullish, and then London session we continued this bullish trend. So since Asia was bullish, usually that is our manipulation session, but we could see that London continued that trend, which gave me confirmation that price wanted to continue higher. So if we drop down to the 15-minute, we could see we came onto the charts 9 a.m. We're on the charts looking at the charts. I drew this box on the 15-minute because basically it was the area that I was waiting for price to break in or out of, right? We could see we had price come and break out. Well, price actually did like a sweep, right? So we had that sweep of previous day highs, and I noticed that it was before New York open, right? So an hour before New York open, we had that sweep, and then 8 a.m. we came in, and I put Asia low, but it's actually Asia high. We could see that price actually came and wicked into Asia highs, and then we came and had we had selling pressure come down, but once price closed, that candle closed, it was all buying pressure back into here. So that was a sign that I was still continuing to look for buys, even though we could see here price came in and wicked this. And a lot of people would have looked at this and been like, okay, this is a liquidity sweep, or continuing down. The following candle was not a continuation candle confirming the sweep on the 1 hour. The following candle was showing us that price is not continuing down, that price is not giving a liquidity sweep of the previous day highs. So for me, that was a telltale sign, okay, we want to go for buys. Now, when the market opened, I saw that price was playing here. This was kind of enough confirmation for me to actually want to buy in here, but I was looking at it and I was like, okay, I don't want to get too, I don't want to get an entry that's a bit too early. And by the time that I decided that I wanted to get in, price was already moving like at a rapid rate. So we could see here breaking it down. So again, I had this kind of here, this area that we needed price to break out of. So as you could see, once we had 9 a.m. coming into the session, you can see we kind of had little breaks, but I was going off a 15-minute, right? 15-minute was majority of what I was looking at. And then we could see price just wasn't able to close. Like I had it to here. Price wasn't able to close below here multiple times. It showed me price doesn't want to go down. Now, usually I trade off of 3-minute time frame. That's where I like to get my entries at. And we can see on the 3-minute time frame, right? Price is just coming in here, and let's go to 9 a.m. right? So we can see we had that pullback in here, and then 9 a.m. we came here. So now I'm looking a little bit more closely, and I'm like, okay, price is coming here, and I want to see like some sort of break. Like I wanted a break of here, and then we wicked. Oh, let me turn off the magnet. I wanted a break of here, and then we came and kind of just wicked into here and then continued up. And then I would have taken my buys at an area that was possible, and stops would have been below here. But unfortunately, we did not get that. So the next thing I was doing was, okay, market opened up, and we could see even on the 1 minute that there is no possibility for price to even like we could see the 1 minute, right? So just opened up. This is a break up here, and I was like, okay, maybe I could take the buy. But I was like, let me remain patient, right? Because my strategy also isn't just breakout, right? Like I'm not just a straight up breakout trader. So what I like to do is wait for sweeps. I like to wait for liquidity sweeps. I like to see price come into a fair value gap, or come into like a supply demand zone, my point of interest. And then I like to have that continuation candle, that confirmation entry breaking the liquidity sweep, right? That wick, which I'll show you guys in a second. So we can see price just continued up. Now, could I have traded into, now could I have taken this and traded into here? Yes, but again, it's not following my trading plan. It's following the breakout strategy, right? Price broke out of this whole area and we're bullish, but it was moving at such a rapid rate where I didn't feel confident getting into something like this just yet, right? Stops probably would have been here, and then we would have just taken this for a 1 to 2. Now, would price have hit? 100%. And I knew price was going to go for a run. I knew that price was going to at least run up at least 100 pips, which it did. We actually ran up 125 pips, right? Before it started making that pullback. So now, what was the next thing I was looking for? The next thing I was looking for was the strategy, because a lot of times you'll see US 30, it will have its run for the day, push up, and then around 9:45, around 10 a.m., we'll get our pullback, and then we'll continue pushing in that general direction. Now, if you guys just watch the market, watch how US 30 moves, that's how it moves a lot. So I was looking for price to come and pull back, because looking at this, some people might have looked at this, right? 1 second, y'all. Some people might have looked at this and saw price create this big wick here and be like, oh no, price is coming back down, we're not continuing down, and they might have looked for sells. For me, all I saw was a pullback, right? All I saw was a retracement. All I saw was a close above this daily area, right? Price closed above our daily. Price closed above our previous day high, right? So now we have a candle closure above 2 major areas, 2 higher time major areas. That's showing me that price wants to continue up. So you can see we came and had this retracement. Now, this is a great trade idea. This trade idea was phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie. I would take a position like this again. The only thing was my execution was just incorrect. Well, not my execution, right? I executed according to my plan, but I didn't have the correct stop loss. Okay. So now we're gonna come into here. This is basically the whole strategy that I look for. So let's go down to the 1 minute, because I think I took this off of 1 minute structure. Okay, so what did I see here? I saw price make these highs, these higher lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? And then I saw we had this break in here, and that's when price broke below here. So once we got that pullback, that retest into here, that was the place that I wanted to take my entry. So once price came into here, I was like, okay, boom, we have this fair value gap here that price is traded into. This is our fair value gap, and again, this is 1 minute, right? So 1 minute we had that fair value gap, and then we had this sweep here, right? That liquidity sweep, and then price closed above here. Boom. Entry was here. waited for a little wick back, and she was here. And as you can see, our stop loss got hit. Now, this isn't a bad trade idea, right? The trade idea is still correct, but what could I have done better? Well, instead of taking it off of 1 minute, what could we have done? We could have gone to a higher time frame for extra confirmation. 3 minute, we would have seen this. So this is price here. This is price here. We could have waited for price to come and sweep here, and then we could have waited for it, and we could take this off real quick. So we could have waited for price to come actually into this fair value gap here, and if we waited for price to come into this fair value gap here, once we had price close above there, we could have taken this trade and had our stops here and continued with still a nice 1 to 2, right? So I took this off of, I could have taken it to this high. Ideally, I wanted to take it even farther, right? I wanted to take it to these daily, and we could see price played out. So what is the learning lesson here? The learning lesson here is, one, I should have remained a little bit more patient and waited for price to come and fill into that fair value gap. And two, I should have went to the higher time frames, right? I shouldn't have traded off of the 1 minute, especially in such volatile markets. I should have went up into the 3 minute. And two, if I was looking for my confirmations of highs being broken, daily being broken, right, on the 15-minute time frame, I should have continued looking for price to come into that 15-minute, 5-minute fair value gap. Because we could see here on the higher time frame that we had that fair value gap that price traded into. So if I would have just extended my stop loss to the correct area, this would have been an amazing trade. We would have been happy, we would have hit TP, we would have had an amazing risk to reward ratio, but unfortunately, I got greedy. Unfortunately, I did not place my stop loss in the correct area, and I traded on a lower time frame in such volatile conditions. So for that reason, I took the L. Now, I could have re-entered, but for me, when I have these times and I don't see the setup coming back into it, like, again, we didn't get another sweep. We didn't get price coming into another fair value gap down here. There was no way for me to get back into the market instead of having that fear of missing out. So for me, I could have easily just hopped right back into the trade, but thinking as a disciplined trader, thinking as a trader who is trying to follow their trading plan, who is not trying to keep creating the same errors, I did the right thing by taking my loss. I did the right thing by staying out of the market instead of trying to get in because, oh, I believe in the trade so much, but there was not another opportunity in this area of price for me to get back into the position. Let's take a look at this one. Price came into here. Now, this trade was a trade that I really wanted to take. But I was at work, and I try not to trade at work because a lot of times I get distracted. I'm very busy at work. I haven't told you guys where I work, but I work in a very busy retail sales kind of job. So I can't just put everything away and not be there. I have to be very attentive, and on the floor, especially in management. Anyways, so as you can see, price came, well, actually let's mark up our previous day highs and previous day lows before I start breaking down anything else. So we can see we had so this is Friday, so previous day high from Thursday. Previous day high. So we can see previous day high on Thursday. And then we can see previous day low from Thursday, which is all the way down here. And then we can see we had the Asia high and the Asia low. Asia really didn't move this day. So Asia high and then Asia low. So if we, okay. And then Asia low. So as you can see, we really didn't have too much trying to break through, right? We could see already London session, right? And we could do London high, London lows. Usually I don't trade New York session, but in a week, 2 weeks, starting July, what? Let me look at my calendar. Starting July 7th, I will be trading New York session again, which I'm really, really looking forward to. So I won't be working anymore after that. So I will have the freedom, the time freedom to be trading New York session again, which I'm super, super excited for, because I prefer trading this session, and it just, bro, this session is just clean. It makes sense. I get to go back to Dow Jones. I get to trade gold. I get to trade NQ. Like, bro, I'm freaking ecstatic about that. Let's break it down. So we can see previous day low, previous day high. This is bullish. We can see even Asian session was bullish. And then we can see London was also bullish. We had a little pullback in here, but overall we were still bullish. London session. So what does that tell you? That tells you don't go against this, right? We're not going against that. We're going to continue buying. So go down to the 15-minute. What do we see on the 15-minute? Well, actually, let's just say this. So I mark up my previous day highs, previous day low, Asia high, Asia low. And then I mark up 4 hours, 4-hour areas, daily areas. So I did 4-hour areas here. So what we're waiting for is basically price to get to this 4-hour, and then price possibly to get to this 4-hour. So now that we broke that down, we could go back to the 15-minute. So on the 15-minute, what I was looking at here was it the 15? No, it was like the, okay, so 15-minute, we could see that price came to this high. And what I was looking at was we kind of had like these highs here. So price swept this high, right? To the 2:30 a.m. We can see 8 a.m. price kind of swept those highs. So I was looking at it and I was like, okay, this could be a potential, like, you know, potential double top or whatever. But the way I was seeing it was more of like a liquidity sweep. So what I wanted to see was a confirmation that price was actually going to continue up. So a little bit of me was worried, okay, so we see this wick down, this wick down, this wick down, this wick down. I was a little bit worried that price was going to try and go down. So I was looking at this sweep. I was also looking at this here that price could sweep into, and then I have price kind of coming into this zone right here. I was like, okay, price is coming into that zone. We can see that price is breaking above there. So I was looking on the lower time frame and I was like, okay, we just need price to break above here. So once we got that break here, that's when I was like, ooh, I really want to get into this trade. And it looks a little bit better on 5-minute. But I was like, okay, price looks really, really good to get into this trade. And this is the area where I was literally like looking at it and I'm like, yo, I'm like so ready to enter into the trade. It was like here, I was like, I'm so ready to enter into this trade. And I wanted my stops below this zone here. Right below this zone right here. I was like, yeah, I want my stops below the zone and take it to the 4-hour. I wish I would have taken this trade because as we could see, as soon as we would have like entered, like we would have entered here and then we could see that price kind of played around a little bit. Like I'll go down to the 1-minute. We could see that price kind of played around a little bit, but I saw we had the liquidity sweep, right? Price swept this, and then we had the break of candle entry here, and then we had this bullish engulfing. So because of that, that was like a reason for me to take the trade. We could have seen that price came in, kind of played around here. And another thing I was looking at, I was like, okay. So I initially missed this entry, but then the second thing that I saw, I was like, no, this is double confirmation. I was like, okay, price is coming in, we're sweeping here, and we're coming into this little zone right here, bro. I was like, we're coming into this zone right here, and oh my goodness, we're coming into this zone right here. I'm like, yo, price wants to continue up. I was like, price wants to continue up, and I was getting ready, like finger on the trigger, was gonna press buy. And as soon as I was getting ready to press buy, I got distracted. I came back, boom, I saw this. I was like, yeah, we're cooked. I was like, we're cooked. I can't take this. I was like, this risk to reward don't make sense to me. Unless I was really gonna shoot for this, which this is such an ambitious trade, shooting for just almost 400 pips, such an ambitious trade. Now, did it hit? It did. But if we're talking about in terms of probability of me actually taking that trade, come on now. Like, I'm actually not going to take that trade. Now, it would have been nice to hold this position, have some runners, or look around 10 a.m. and look for another position, because I'm pretty sure at 10 a.m. we would have had another opportunity. If we go down to the 3-minute, yeah, look at that. Look at that. You can literally see it clearly. Boom. Price comes here. Have a liquidity sweep. We come into this fair value gap right here. Boom. That fair value gap. And then you literally, once we get the breakup candle entry, we buy right into there. Stops below here. And then we go 1 to 2. 1 to 2. I would have pushed it up to here. So we could have looked at it 10 a.m. as well. 10 a.m., 10, 15, 18 would have given us another opportunity. But once I saw this run, I was like, price might not even push up all the way there. But we could see that price did continue in that direction. Yeah, basically that is what I wanted to break down this week. I was mainly looking at US 30 this week. I did take a couple trades on gold. But yeah, I just wanted to break down the US 30. It's something that I am going to be trading a bit more in about a week or so. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any comments, leave them down below, or questions, leave them down below. Please subscribe to the channel, and thank you guys so much for watching. JJB out.